I'm not a fan of panniers, and I'm especially not a fan of hard panniers. I'm also not a fan of lots of individual camping items attached to a bike. I like weatherproof roll bags. My 45 litre bag holds everything I need for a week's camping, including all my tent stuff, clothes, food and some repair items. It's the same volume and almost the same weight as my tramping pack. Why motorbike campers don't look at the options for lightweight tramping beats me. So with the purchase of a new KTM 390 Adventure, I thought about luggage carriers. What I found were tiny ones that fit out the back, and of course the side ones geared around individual manufacturers' pannier systems. Nah, all too expensive and not universal enough for me. So here's my solution. No welding and less than $30 to build. The carrier is fastened to the 4 grab handle supports, so the bag sits over the back wheel. When I camp I don't have a passenger on board, so this is fine for me. Here's my parts list, all readily available items. I opted for the frame made from a 19mm square aluminium tube. You can make it larger. The only size restriction is the grab handle support threads have an 8mm standard thread. Okay, here's how to build it. Cut off 4 lengths of the 8mm rod about 150mm long to use for measuring. You'll cut these down later in the final assembly. Measure the spacing of the front and rear grab handle supports. The back was about 95mm and the front was about 275mm on my bike. Cut the RHS in half. I was happy with a 500mm long carrier, as my bag is 600mm long, or you can make it longer if needed. Just buy more RHS. Transfer the rear measurement to one RHS and the front to the other. Drill 12mm clearance holes for the 12mm support tubes. The support tubes fit into the RHS to provide more stability when bolted together. Turn completely over and drill 8mm clearance holes at the same spacing for the 8mm rod. Turn each RHS on its side and drill 3, or as many as you want, 12mm clearance holes the same distance apart on each RAS for the spacers. Flip and drill the 8mm holes. The spacers fit inside the RHS, as do the supports. Offer the 2 HRSSs up to the 8mm threaded roll and the grab handle supports. Adjust the height to where you want it. Measure the distance from the outer edges of the RHS, subtract 2mm and cut 3 pieces of the 12mm tube for the spacers. Also measure the rear and front support lengths. Don't forget to make them long enough to go up inside the RHS. Cut 2 of each length from the 12mm tube. Cut the 8mm threaded rod to length for the spacers and the nuts. Bolt the carrier frame together. I really didn't need to bolt the centre spacer, but as I already drilled the holes I decided to use it. Cut the 8mm threaded log to length for each end support. I left about 15mm to screw into the grab handle. I put 2 nuts on the grab handle supports to make it easier to fit and remove. A better option would be to weld an ordinary nut onto the end of the rod, but as I don't have a welder I couldn't do this. Assemble and mount to the bike. Cool, eh? If you look at it closely you'll see that you can't remove the seats until you remove the carrier. Carry a 13mm spanner to remove the 8mm nuts. You can mount the carrier higher to be able to remove the seats, but this means quite a rise in the front due to the shape of the rear seat. The carrier will also have to be altered as the front and rear supports will not be on the same plane when the front is higher due to the angle of the grab supports. You can of course raise the back to level as well. It will be quite high, which is why I didn't go with this option. So here it is with my roll bag on the carrier. There's a small 50mm overhang on either side, but the total width is about the same as with panniers on the side. Add the end caps to the RHS, paint it all and you're done. And add a bonus, a backrest.